Hello, Commander, and welcome to another episode of the Radio Sidewinder Talk Show. I'm Commander Felix Jefferson, and today I'm joined by
Commander Stephen Atronach.
In this week's episode, we have an update on Commander Cellmaster's condition. May or may not know, Commander Cellmaster was actually interdicted by aliens during our interview with him, which was pretty scary. But apparently he's doing well. He went to, what was that place with Halsey, Stephen?
Yeah, actually, Halsey is establishing a rehabilitation center. She's been discharged from the Clearwater Clinic, and so she's going to open her own refugee center, and they found him over there in her care temporarily. So hopefully the permanent one will be open soon. That's mainly for victims of the war, the current conflict between the Empire and the Federation going on, which, of course, is caused by all this stress of these strange extraterrestrial visitors. So I feel like this is certainly a good place for him to go. But he seems to be recovering well, and that's good. Hopefully that ship wasn't too expensive. We all know cutters are pretty expensive.
Yeah. Of course, the other good thing was that Bravo and Wolfman the Hunter got there in time, because, oh boy, that could have been a bad situation if he was stuck out there.
Yeah, and of course Euclidean Slider as well. Luckily he's got a good group, a good wing of guys behind him. But yeah, all this alien stuff is getting pretty intense. They just found a fifth set of ancient ruins left behind by some aliens. I mean, they're certainly not of human origin, unless someone's just playing a really good prank way far out in the galaxy.
Yeah, that seems like a pretty expensive prank, and time-consuming prank as well. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's safe to say that it is of, alien origin and not from humans.
Well, it's interesting how much this is actually affecting politics right now in the universe. I mean, we've got the Empire and the Emperor being like, hold on a second, we don't really know if these things are going to try to attack us, or if they're even Thargoids at all. Maybe we shouldn't just go and attack them right now. And of course, you've got Zachary Hudson going, let's go attack them right now. We need to go kill them. And
Bring the fight to them.
Yeah, it seems like a bit interesting to me, because while the Federation definitely seems to be more ready for the fight on the public side of things, I know for a fact that the Empire has the 13th Legion standing by.
Right,
just in case
I was going to bring up
of alien attacks. So,
right,
yeah, I guess it's more of a speak softly and carry a big stick sort of policy from the Emperor, or rather a big cutter.
Yeah, instead of just going guns blazing and launching drop ships at them until they run away.
So I'm wondering if, of course, he's reacting to the fact that, ever since Halsey came back, people have been a little shaken in their Federation faith. I mean, Halsey herself has actually joined Alliance Prime Minister Mahone's advisor committee. Like, she's now one of his advisors, and he's looking to her for advice on all sorts of things, especially with this conflict and with these aliens appearing. And of course, they're both promoting, or at least she's promoting cooperation. She wants people to stop with the politics behind things and kind of be like, hey guys, if we don't group up, we could get murdered.
Yeah. That's the biggest thing that I took from it. It's just like, we can't put all of this aside for a bit until we realize, or we find out what we're dealing with here from either the ruins or these interdictions that have been going on recently. It just seems a little strange to me, at least.
Yeah, and of course all this data coming in actually about the Formidine Rift.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, apparently there's some sort of fleet that was dispatched 30 years ago to put beacons in the area, but none of them ever came back. Of course, frameshift drive technology wasn't anywhere near back then what it is today, and that would have taken an incredible amount of time just to do. So the fact that they felt back then that it was so important to get this area mapped out seems pretty, you wonder what might be out there now, especially with these interdictions, with these aliens appearing and these ruins coming up. Makes one wonder just not only we're not alone in the universe, but we might be in a much more crowded universe than we thought in the first place.
Yeah, like you said, there are 5 alien ruins now, and they're quite big. Almost made from civilizations, it looks like. And the interdictions that have been going on, they aren't just a localized incident. It seems like every day there's a new Galnet post saying that, the alien bubble of interdictions, as they're calling it, has expanded in diameter, going to different parts of the galaxy that we never thought would be affected before. And, it's not just limited to the Pleiades anymore. It's actually in our bubble, too. It's just blown up massively in the recent weeks now.
Yeah, that's pretty incredible, too. Imagine you're just going to the system, next door. Oh, yeah, I'd like to go over there to pick up some goods to bring back, even just a simple trader, and all of a sudden you're just torn out of hyperspace by some sort of alien craft. One of my wingmates, Commander Nixon, has been pulled out 3 times, and with passengers. He does a lot of works as a cruise liner, quite a lot, and that's definitely going to affect his profit margin if he keeps getting pulled out by aliens. That's just disturbing everyone's way of life. So the real question is, what are they even here for?
Right, yeah, because they haven't done anything else besides scan people still, which is kind of strange, but it's almost like they're looking for something, but I don't know what that would be.
Yeah, the question is, what are they looking for? Some of the people who have gotten pulled out have had those unknown artifacts, which are clearly of alien origins, and some of them haven't. It doesn't seem to be related to that. I know there was originally some people nervous that if they had one on board, the alien ship might be hostile if it interdicted them, but it didn't end up being the case. It just seems to scan and leave. And though I do appreciate the Empire's, hey, let's wait and see what they're actually going to do, and while I don't think that we should be just going forward to attack them as the Federation goes, I wonder just how much of an edge we're giving them by letting them scan us so much without taking any action.
Yeah, definitely. Because we don't know what type of scans they're running either. It may just be like our cargo scans on, pirate ships or station security ships. Or it could be something like a kill warrant scanner. What are these? What are we like? What are we?
Yeah, what has our effect been? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And especially as we're going further and further out in the galaxy, more into their territory, it might be kind of interesting to see what happens. I heard that recently, somewhere out in Bernard's Loop, commanders actually can't get there anymore to certain parts of the nebula because apparently they're lacking a permit of unknown origin.
Then yeah, that is pretty strange, and it also makes me wonder if obviously there's certain systems inside of our civilization that we've expanded so far that you just can't get into if you really don't have a permit. Like, I can't go to Sol because I'm not a Federation pilot. They don't want just anybody flying in to where the Federation lives, but I could go to Akinar, whereas I know people who can't go to Akinar just because they are not really, helping the Empire out. And you can't just go to their, headquarters, the home of the Empire, and just expect to walk in.
Right.
If you're, could be a potential threat. So I'm wondering, with these aliens, they're able to rip us right out of hyperspace, with no problem. With their clear command of hyperspace, if they're able to just keep people from jumping in to a place if they don't want them there.
Yeah, because their frameshift drive technology, or whatever it actually is obviously way more advanced than ours. Because, we can pull people out of supercruise, sure, but hyperspace?
Yeah.
That's not anywhere near what we can do yet, at least. Maybe in the coming weeks or so that we'll be able to get some of the alien technology and do that.
It's also a really tough time just for humanity as a whole, because right now we're so focused on expanding. Just because of this whole mess with Jack Station, it's like, oh, well, since they're over there, we might as well start building more over there and having people go out there. So, they're so far away from the military powers that be, and they're still working on a Colonia initiative trying to get factions and people to go out there, to get powers to go out there and build and invest in making a new civilization, a new area for humans as a whole to call home. And they must be particularly vulnerable. There's nobody there to protect them.
Right, yeah. The only people I can think of is a group like Iridium Wing or like the Diamond Frogs. I guess maybe, even though they really specialize in getting explorers back into the bubble, maybe someday soon they should actually start protecting people going to and from Colonia and, setting up the colony there.
Especially since, if you want something, with some sort of combat capability over there, it's going to take a very long time or cost you a lot of money to have somebody else deliver it. Even with my Anaconda, it's fully combat kitted, but I'm just barely getting, 28 light years out. That would make, with that jump range, it would take a long time for me to get to Colonia. I can't imagine getting something like, a Corvette or a Python or a Fer-de-Lance or even a Cutter or anything like that out there. It would just take so long.
The only way I could see it being really feasible in a short amount of time would be either you strip the ship completely and just, we get outfitting set up down there in the future, which doesn't seem very plausible just yet, or, like you said, you get someone else to get your ship out there, but even that still takes time. So really, there is no way to get most combat-ready ships out there.
Though I do wonder, from what I've heard of the way the current capital ship jump drives work, they have to plot their course out properly and everything, but they can jump much farther. It's a similar system to what Jack Station have. Now, of course, it's a lot farther than they're used to jumping to get out there, but perhaps maybe they could take a few jumps and maybe load up one of those ships with some of their heavier artillery. Because you can fit Corvettes and Cutters in there, no problem. They have them in the ship, in the capital ship. If they could get some of those out there and maybe load them up, maybe load one up with supplies or something. But again, that would require, some cooperation from, the Empire and the Federation, as right now they want to keep their ships at home because they want to defend against each other because, like Halsey said, we just really need to cooperate at this point.
I think that's probably going to be our only hope going forward if these aliens or whoever become violent towards us, is, we're going to have to just accept our differences for a little while and, join up and fight these threats if they actually ever do come.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And, well, as far as joining together, though, I'm really excited to finally just take a moment. I've heard that the Pilots Federation is now allowing us to have permission to get on each other's ships. They haven't let us. Apparently there was some worry about somebody sabotaging, somebody else's ship, and people were fighting about it. But now the Pilots Federation is giving us some permission to allow other people back and forth on our own ships, which is pretty nice.
Yeah, that would be a lot of fun, I would think. Get you guys all in the Corvette, or, I come on your Anaconda and vice versa.
As soon as you get on the Anaconda, you'll realize why people fly them so much. I agree. I agree with you. They're good ships. I just think that they're ugly. Yeah, but, when you get in one, you'll understand.
Yeah, that's true, I guess.
Or if you look at one with your eyes open, you'd notice. But it's okay. It's not like they're a vulture or anything.
No.
Or a Fer-de-Lance, which is just basically a giant hauler.
Likewise, when you come onto the Corvette, you'll finally see how much of an engineering marvel that ship is. In the fact that it's not as good as some of the other ships. And I would also like to say, in my opinion, the Anaconda included, but I think it's got its own... it's great in its own right.
Look, I've never denied that the Corvette is an awesome ship, and it looks good. It just can't jump very well.
No.
And it doesn't have the armor. In my opinion, it doesn't have the armor to support its fighting habit. But, it's still a great ship. Well, it's slow. So that's definitely something. It's about the same as the Anaconda. My Anaconda is so slow. I was flying a Viper not that long ago, just to get to a smaller pad on one of those outposts, because of course can't park the Anaconda there.
Nope.
I was flying a Viper and I just felt so fast, and it was like a stock Viper. And I'm like, get back in the Anaconda. And it's like, okay, I'll get there eventually. I say, now of course, I've got all these Imperial fighters in my hangar ready to go, and most of the time my co-pilot, she'll fly them and I'll just stay back in the mothership. But sometimes, I like to go and have fun with it, and it's just insanely faster,
Yeah, that's the thing that I always always surprises me when I get out of the Corvette and go into like my Viper or my Asp, or well, not so much the Asp, but yeah, you know, smaller ships like that. And it's like you take off, and at least I do subconsciously. I just start flying like it's the Corvette. Mm-hmm. So I overcompensate. You know, my lateral thrusters way too much, and you know, you just go all over the place. And sometimes hit the side of the station, and then the security starts yelling at you, and you know. But smaller ships are definitely still fun, I think.
I'm certain my co-pilot was laughing at me the first time I went to dock my Imperial fighter back in my hangar, because like she does it. I say dock, and you know, she just casually flies up behind me and flies in, and it goes, you know, no problem. And if I'm in the fighter and I'm like, okay, I request docking, and I'm coming up behind my ship, I'm like, whoop, I'm a little off to the side. Okay, now I'm off to the other side. Oh, now I'm past it. I have to turn around. It's just like, I'm all over the place. But it's definitely fun, unless you hit something really hard. That thing is very light and does not like to hit things physically. I mean,
yeah. Although it does do a lot of damage for the size of the thing. I mean, those guns pack a punch.
Yeah, of course. As soon as those shields go down, you're just made out of paper at that point. Even the Taipans, which are supposed to be a little heavily armored in comparison, they're still essentially paper. I don't.
Yeah.
Easily kill one with a Sidewinder, but the ships they come out of, no, can't kill those with a Sidewinder.
I mean, not unless it's sitting still and powered down.
Or you were flying it or something. But,
wow. Okay.
I'm just kidding. Maybe Commander G suitcase, but not you. No.
Yeah.
But no, I definitely like having my co-pilot on board. It makes being out in the black a little less lonely sometimes, and it'll be a lot more fun when we're able to allow other commanders, you know, to join us as well, and not just people we hire. We can just have fun, you know, and that'll make it a lot less lonely. I'm wondering if they're doing it via Neuralink or something, though, because I've heard that it doesn't matter where you are in the galaxy, you can just join your friend's ship. So maybe that's how they got around it, or something like.
Oh yeah, maybe. Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, as we've seen with the fighters, you know, those are Neuralink, so I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case for these as well.
Yeah. I think it'll be a lot of fun to be able to see some of my friends' faces. I'm always looking at them behind a helmet, because you know, you don't want to have your helmet off when the canopy breaks, but you know, you never really get to see your friends' faces, and so I wing with so many people, but I don't know what they look like. I'm excited about the future and what's coming, but of course I'm as worried as anybody else with all these aliens and this war going on. But I have to admit, I mean, since I'm pledged to an Empire power, I have been doing my part in, you know, what conflicts are available. You know, they tell me to go fight somebody, I go fight somebody. I mean, Commander Nixon and I were hassling some, you know, federal agents not too long ago, and even some Alliance bureaucrats, you know, because I've been working behind the scenes a bit. I think I'm a little worried that maybe the Alliance and the Federation may team up a bit. Like, I'm thinking maybe Edmund Mahone has a little bit of his own ideas behind getting Halsey on board with his advising committee. And we all know the Federation can't match Empire for firepower.
I don't know about that, but I mean...
the Empire's big, the Empire's got a lot of firepower, but they are somewhat divided. I mean, the Emperor herself and Princess Aisling, both of them aren't like super excited about war. Mm-hmm. But Denton Patrius, he's all for it.
And for another example, Zemina Torval loves slavery, and you and Princess Aisling hate it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a little antiquated, and even the Empress, you know, she allows imperial slavery because she's the Empress and Emperor, and she doesn't want to, you know, ruffle the feathers of some of the more traditional. And that's the thing. I mean, traditional, it didn't even start that long ago, the imperial slavery. It wasn't like it started at the beginning of the Empire.
Yeah, right.
It's just a stupid thing that people hold on to because it makes them a lot of money. I mean, I'm not going to deny that. Imperial slavery makes money for a lot of people. But it doesn't make money for people that matter, you know? It doesn't help the citizens out, it just helps the rich get richer.
And
Corvettes.
That is so true. Although, to be fair, technically, those weren't Imperial slaves out smuggling. They were just
You're lucky
slaves.
we didn't meet up in those days,
Yeah, no, you would have...
a different story.
If I didn't have my Corvette, I would have been... Well, even if I did have my Corvette, I probably still would have been not in a great situation.
I at least would have caused you some damage if I came at you with that courier,
Oh, yeah. When I thought that I had a really good loadout and got beat.
That's why we tested out with each other, so we know that later we won't get kicked because we have a decent loadout.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in my case, though, it seems like the only people that actually try and fight the Corvette are a bunch of eagles, which, I don't know, am I just cursed that I always get interdicted by eagles and stuff?
Eagles are tough, man. They're
oh, man, they're so hard to destroy. It's almost, I mean, it takes me, 30 seconds?
I don't know, it's like cutting down a tree with a piece of paper.
Yeah.
So, speaking of working on our ships and, getting money to upgrade them, I finally upgraded my power plant.
Oh, about time.
Yeah, well, I hadn't upgraded for a while, because, I've been running 100%, 107% of my power plant. I, turn things off when I don't need them.
Yeah.
Just because money and weight-wise, it made sense, because... I assume you visited an engineer at some point in time.
Yes, I have visited some of the so-called engineers before.
Yeah, I know we're supposed to keep it somewhat on the DL.
Yeah.
We don't want official sources to find out. But, I won't name any places.
Yes.
I had my... With a single upgrade, I had my 7C power plant producing 98.9 megawatts of power.
Oh, wow,
and,
okay.
Yeah, so I didn't really need to upgrade, but
Right.
I just started slowly upgrading the rest of my ship. So it came to the point where I'm like, all right, I got to upgrade, and I managed to just upgrade it to an 8D instead.
Yeah.
Which brought me down in power initially.
Because of the upgrade, of course.
Yeah, because of the upgrade. But I actually went to the engineer and had her upgrade the 8D just as much. I'm running close to 34 megawatts on the 8D.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's good, though.
So I'll be good for a bit. I don't run as many lasers as Commander Nixon. He's got an 8A, and he's going overpower constantly, but he has so many lasers.
Yeah. You really gotta balance that, honestly. Especially with the bigger ships and those bigger lasers, they draw so much power.
That's what I'm worried about going into the cutter eventually. I'm working my way up the last few Imperial ranks. I've been doing a lot of work for the Imperial Navy, and they're very grateful. I have a lot of benefits that I couldn't before. But while the cutter still has an 8A power plant, it also can run size 8 shields, which are going to be crazy power draining. As well as it only has a size 7 power distributor, so that's a size down.
Right.
So I'll have to extra balance it at that point.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of multi-cannons anyway.
So in that case it's good, since those don't draw too much power. But...
yeah, no, I love multi-cannons. Oh, man.
And then you'll finally have a huge multi-cannon. Or
I have
laser.
a huge multi-cannon.
Oh, yeah, the Anaconda has one too. I forgot. I keep on forgetting the Anaconda has a huge hardpoint.
Look, I know it's not quite as big as the Corvette, but it's only smaller by a little.
Yeah, no, it's
okay?
just, I don't know. I keep on forgetting. I thought it had large hardpoints, not a huge.
It has large hardpoints as well. It has 3 of them actually, which is more than the Corvette.
Yeah.
has.
I thought it only had large, mediums, and, all that.
No, got my 3 large, 1 huge, couple mediums, a couple smalls.
Yeah.
A couple useless small hardpoints. But no, I might take a break from some of the combat. I do a lot of combat. I might take a break soon, try to get some mining done. There's a couple of those engineers who want some mining materials.
Yeah. And mining's fun. You get a bunch
It can be. The first time I tried mining, it was horrible, but I was in I was in a Sidewinder.
Yeah.
It was very, very early. It was, and I didn't have any limpets. I had a very small refinery and just like a small mining laser, no prospecting limpets, no collection limpets. I had no idea what I was doing, and I'm like, why would anybody want to do this? This is so annoying. But once I got into, actually, I think my Diamondback Explorer was the first thing I took like actual mining, and that's still a bit small for mining optimally. But, I had the limpets, I had a decent-sized refinery and some cargo, and it was much, much more relaxing. And with the Anaconda, it's a breeze. I mean,
of course.
Just sit there and eat an asteroid in about 5 minutes. Have, 9 limpets, constantly picking them all up and just going. And it's so much easier at this point.
Yeah, that's a good point. I haven't used my Type 7 for a while, which is my mining ship. But, I mean...
Well, of course, you're welcome to mine with me.
Yeah, anytime. Of course. Yeah. I'll have to head on out to one of those rings that we always used to go to. And
yeah, there's some good ones near Chona, which is where I'm based at the moment.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll have to fly out there then.
Yeah, it's a lovely place. Yeah, I would be totally down for that. All right. Well, I have to go shoot some more federal agents, as they've been tickling the backside of my Anaconda for about 30 minutes now.
Oh, did they disable your drives again, or no?
Oh, hey, I've got those reinforced now, and I have both module reinforcements, and I went to a engineer I told you about earlier, and actually got my drives reinforced. I'm not very fast, but it will take them forever to get through to those again.
Yeah, that's good though.
Falcon DeLacy has some nice looking ships, but that Anaconda does not hide its drives well.
No, they are right out there in the back.
They're super easy to hit.
So, well, yeah, I think it's about time that we wrap up. Like you said, you have to go kill some more undeserving Federals, and
you're right, they don't deserve their ships or
Yes. They're just given them to them by Mr. Hudson and his gang. But
his gang of miscreants.
Yes. But, Commander, if you are interested in joining the Radio Sidewinder faction, which is not a gang of miscreants,
it's kind of a gang.
Well,
the leader is a pirate.
But if you get past the gang bit, we're pretty cool. I like to think. And just hop into the pilot's lounge and which, as we've said last week, we were recently reserved a spot in the Colonia Initiative, so that should be pretty cool, I would think. We were talking earlier about getting out there. I don't know if I'd personally go out to see it. I might just settle for going back to Taco.
I might wait a bit.
Yeah. I think if I was going out there to see it, I would need a ship that has more than 16 light year jump range, but that's just me. I don't know.
It is just you. I don't have a 16 light year jump range.
Okay, that's a good point. But
let's put a doubler on that, and then we might make it out there at the same time.
Yeah. Well, if I borrow some of your drives, or we put my drives from the Corvette on the Anaconda, then we should be able.
Actually, yeah, because the Corvette frameshift drive is bigger than the Anaconda's frameshift drive.
Exactly. Yeah.
So we could get out there in no time. No, actually, it's the same size. It is the same size. So let's
still 2 times the power.
Not though, because I have mine upgraded like a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you mean having both of them at the same time?
Yeah, having 2.
Oh.
Yeah.
I could do that.
Which mine is slightly upgraded. It's not. I don't think it's tier 5 yet, but still. But yeah, that's enough for this week of the talk show. I'm Commander Felix Jefferson, signing off.
I'm Commander Steven Atronach, signing off.
Fly safe, Commander.
You're listening to Radio Sidewinder.